It's my day. It is Veterans Day. So salute to all the veterans we represent all the time, 24 hours a day. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're going to do a review of the TCL 10 5G UW. Basically, this is Verizon's version of the TCL 10. Now, I actually had this for probably a month or so. And in the interim of taking care of a whole bunch of things, I was able to use this almost every day, roughly every day. I don't think I missed a beat with it, but real world testing, I want to start with the 5G thing here. So I've yet to pick up 5G. The entire month of having this device, no 5G. And I know 5G is limited to where you are, but I just haven't experienced their 5G yet. And I don't want to travel out to try to find 5G. Yeah, no. It's not available in my area yet, but I will say that obviously the network for Verizon is super strong. Consistent 4G LTE, pretty decent speeds, like when you run these speed tests or whatever. These really don't mean too much to me, but when I do it, I take it with a grain of salt. The real speeds for me come when I'm using the device, and do I have a network when I need it? And that's about where it stops for me. 5G is cool and everything, but can I stream or do that download quick enough to satisfy my needs? And that's really what it's about for me. So I think that having 5G, okay, it's cool, but that is what this phone is supposed to be about, the most affordable 5G phone that they actually offer right now. And some people probably are getting 5G, but where I live at, 5G is still spotty with Verizon. It is everywhere with T-Mobile and AT&T, but Verizon, not so much. So yes, it's 5G, but I have yet to experience 5G. And I'm sure that when I do get a chance to get some 5G, this phone will be really good as far as internet speeds go. Now, how is it as a phone overall? Well, this is kind of a mixed bag, if you will, of TCL devices. Not of anything else. This is just a great offering at a great price. I mean, you're getting a very big screen, and it's huge, man. It's a big 6.53 inch display, basically 6.5 or almost 6.6, and it's what people want nowadays. People want big screens because most people are like this all day looking at their devices, watching videos and watching football games, everything. At least that's what I do. I'm watching games all the time when I can watch them, and from any kind of streaming service, and I just love it. So I think that having a large screen like this, and it's 1080p, so I mean, and it's HDR10 compliant. I'm sure this screen is HDR10 compliant. I want to make sure. Display, I think it's yes, HDR10 compliant, 450 nits so of brightness. So this is something to shake a leg at. This is really good. I mean, if you look at that, that's a pretty massive display, and it's super bright. It actually gets really bright, so I really can appreciate that. But I think the fact that they're offering such a big display on this device for the price, you really can't go wrong. If you're trying to nitpick it apart, like if a person is trying to figure out what they don't like about this phone, it's going to be hard to even come across some things that you probably don't like. I mean, we can shift gears quickly over to the processor, which is the Snapdragon 765G. We all know this processor is fantastic. It's a great processor. And this one has 6 gigs of RAM in it, and it's got a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And I think that the combination that they put together with this is fantastic. There is nothing to dislike about what the phone is offering physically, at least in my opinion. And I think if you want a big phone and you don't want to break the bank, I think this might be one that you should consider. Now, hardware-wise, it has the backing with the little diamond cut little thing on it, so it's pretty cool. The design, everything. It did come. I got a case with it right here. It didn't come with this case, but this is a spec case, and I keep it in this case. Not my favorite case, but hey, it's a case. But I like to carry the phone out like this because this is a sturdy, hefty phone. If you drop this, it probably would break, but depending on what you drop it on, it probably won't break. This is a very And I've dropped this phone obviously a bunch of times, but it was in that case, so that saved it obviously. But I think if you didn't have a case and you dropped this on concrete, it probably would get a little scratched up, but I don't think it would crack on the first try. I don't do drop tests on my channel. I think that's kind of pointless to do those. I think you should do drop tests inside the cases because most of the world today buys a case immediately. So, but overall, the hardware and what they're offering for the price, I think it's a great offering. It's not unrivaled and unmatched, but it's right in line with all the things that 2020 offered, which was a bunch of low cost devices and the same processors. So when you consider it, it's right in line with them, and it's a 5G device. So how about battery? Now, battery is always going to depend on the user, but I am definitely able to grab tons of battery with this device. Now, I told you that I was able to use this device every day, and pretty much every day. And there's phone calls, there's text, or social media, and lots of YouTube and stuff like that. But see if you can get a hit of that. You see that? Last full charge was roughly 3.5 days ago almost, and I got 3 hours of screen on time. So when I say I'm using this every day, this phone has been there for me roughly an hour a day. It's what I'm using this at, because I can only have so many phones to my ear at one time. This is an example of what this battery can do. Now, what this represents is almost a week long of usage for most people. Yes, you're going to say, well, Jay, you're not using it a lot. Well, I am. I'm actually using this phone every day to watch videos and things like that. So, and it charges. I use the supercharger, so it charges really fast. I don't use the charger that comes in the box. I use a 65-watt charger, so it charges really fast for me. But nonetheless, the phone is there for me when I need it. I don't have to worry about the battery being drained, or I need to put it on the charger if it sits for 2 days. Now, this phone doesn't normally sit for 2 days straight with no use. I pretty much use it every day, like I said. But I think that if you're in the market for a phone with not just a big battery, but just a phone that's going to give you great battery and fantastic standby time, this might be the one for you. Now, the software on here, roughly stock, I would say. They have a slight overlay, but it feels really good. It's nice and fluid, nice and fast. And I think you won't be disappointed with the way this phone runs. Some people frown upon phones with skins, but pretty much every phone today has a skin. If you don't have a Pixel, my Pixel's over there. If you don't have a Pixel, then, hey, you got a skin more than likely. There's some kind of preservatives being added to their software. Something's being added. And this phone is no exception. It has a light skin over it, but it doesn't affect the performance of the device at all. So software, stock pretty much to me. Now, an area where it could do better or does better than most devices is the cameras. Now, they have a 48 megapixel setup on this one right here. 48 megapixel main shooter, this wide. Then you have a 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have a 5 megapixel macro, I believe this shows here. So 3 camera setup, 4K recording, it's going to be good. I don't think you'll be disappointed with the photos that come from here, because if you're probably not comparing with, if you buy this phone, you're probably just going to compare it to the phone you had previously, and it's probably going to run better and do better photos depending on how long you had your other phone. So it's not mind-blowing, but it is definitely good, and the samples will show that. It's a good running set of cameras, and they do well on this smartphone. So I think TCL did right by their consumers. The only thing I don't like about this device really is that it's kind of slippery at times. Even with that case, it's slippery. So that would be something I just change the case out and get a grippier case. But more importantly, it's locked to Verizon. It is a Verizon exclusive device, and I just don't understand that. Except for the veterans. According to this video, it is my day. It is Veterans Day. So salute to all the veterans we represent all the time, 24 hours a day. So overall, this package from Verizon, it's good. It's really good. And but again, that downfall of it being locked to Verizon. TCL eventually, I would hope, would bring this to all carriers. I would like to see TCL phones on all carriers, like the TCL brand on all carriers. I literally have purchased all TCL TVs. I wish they would send me a TV, but they won't. I've got a 55, a 65, and a 75 TCL TVs across the board. I love TCL TVs because they have the Roku built in. I've got my Apple TV built in. I got my internet, my cable provider into the TV. I don't need to have any boxes or anything like that. Just all through the remote. Fantastic. So the TCL brand and the quality is ridiculous. So I just feel like when it comes to TCL, they make their mark, but then they don't get the advertising push that they might need. So locking a phone to Verizon only, not the smartest move for me, I would say, for TCL, but nonetheless, it is a good phone whether it's on Verizon or not. So hopefully if you have Verizon and you want to try something that's affordable, more affordable, and you have 5G in your area, this is an option for you. It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.